So thank you everybody for joining us. My name is Steph. I am a registered veterinary nurse. I've been in practice for 25 years, qualified 21 years. I am on BVNA Council. And as part of our Veterinary Nurse Awareness Month, this month we are celebrating what we are classing the vintage veterinary nurse. So those of us that have been qualified for 20 years plus to go in line with the celebration of 20 years of Veterinary Nurse Awareness Month. Today I'm going to be talking to my lovely friend Joy Howell. So first off, Joy, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself.
Well, thanks, Steph. Well, you've already introduced me. I'm Joy Howell. I'm delighted to hear I'm a vintage wine. I never really thought of myself that way. Thought it was an old dear. Yes, so I'm Joy Howell. I have been qualified, brace yourselves, since 1985.
Good
Yes.
grief, Joy.
So it's 40 years next year. I was very proud because I actually qualified when I was, so I just want to make sure you don't think that I'm 70. I was actually 19 when I got my certificate. I started training 17, qualified 2 days before my 20th birthday.
That is
So
amazing.
so I've been qualified since 1985. I was actually as well, my claim to fame is I was in the first cohort of 18 to get the first surgical diploma. So I got the advanced diploma in 1992 as well.
Amazing. That's really good.
Yeah.
So how did you qualify?
Well, dear God, very different for us back then. We just went to evening class one night a week. No, no day at college for us. So I was very lucky that I had a wonderful placement. I was at the Beaumont Animal Hospital at the Royal Vet College.
Amazing.
So I had a wonderful time because I had student life with the vet students, but I was getting paid and getting free accommodation. So that was quite a
Brilliant.
nice life. But yeah, so I worked obviously a 5-day week. I did one weekend in 3, and I used to go to Harlow Borough College, have to trek across on the tube or get a lift by one of the lecturers because most of the lecturers were from the RVC anyway, and go to Harlow Borough College.
Amazing. Things have changed so much, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So following on from that, what progression have you seen in the veterinary nursing profession in the last 20 years?
Oh,
We'll just condense it to 20 years rather than...
yes. Oh, because in 40 years, oh my God. Unbelievable. I think to have registered status was just the highlight. Registered veterinary nurses. And obviously moving on from, when the first diploma was, I took mine in 1992, but, since then, all the further qualifications and the ways to diversify. I mean, we've got nurses that own their own practices.
Yeah.
So many extra qualifications, diversification into other careers. I mean, I did move into the pharmaceutical industry.
Mhm.
So I've worked in the pharmaceutical industry for 16 years. I was self-employed for 7 years, teaching and doing lots of different roles, and then ended up doing my SQP and ended up working in an internet pharmacy eventually using that skill. So, I have been using my vet nursing qualification for 40 years.
It's absolutely amazing that things have moved on so much, and we do have that diversification and that opportunity to move into other professions from our kind of initial qualification there. So where do you see the future of veterinary nursing going? Tough one.
Well, you know what I'm going to say. We've got to keep stamping our heels and get our protected title. We've got
Yeah,
to make sure that if you say you're a vet nurse, you're a vet nurse.
exactly.
I would love to see, obviously, one thing that, I won't get to do, but I would love to see the more progression and to see it following the human vet nursing profession, practitioner nurses. That is something that I think
Yeah.
is a real goal. I mean, yes, we do nurse clinics and we have got a degree of autonomy and we do a lot more than we did. But to be a nurse practitioner, to be put in the same sort of league as, well, now look what's happening with the human situation where people are now going to their pharmacists,
Yeah.
and don't the doctor, to go and see your nurse practitioner. and to have specialties. So to be the nurse practitioner assigned to aftercare for cancer patients, those sort of things. There's so much more.
There
And
is,
you
yeah.
don't have to think, oh, it's all happened. It can still be on, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So now I've got a bit of a wild card question for you. If you got a chance to go back to when you were a student veterinary nurse, what piece of advice would you give yourself?
It's funny because the advice I would probably give myself, being stubborn, I already did. But if I hadn't already done it, I would say ignore what the career officer said. I got awful advice when I was back at school all those years ago. I was actually told, oh, well, you don't really want to do veterinary nursing because, you won't be able to support yourself. Oh, but of course, it's okay. You're a girl, so you'll be able to get married and your husband will be able to support you. So fortunately, I didn't take that advice. And, I would love to have come to that careers officers years later when I was driving a company car, getting paid more than some vets, doing my pharmaceutical industry job. I'd have loved to have found it. So I think, my advice would be don't listen to anybody telling you can't make a career out of veterinary because you can.
You can, definitely.
You can. And I did follow my advice even without it. Take every opportunity, do your further qualifications. Don't be scared of diversifying. Don't be scared of trying something different. When I got made redundant a second time, because of the way things are, I actually got my last job that I've just retired from purely by having my SQP qualification.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm a vet nurse, but by having done that all those years ago, thinking, oh, well, it's a bit of an add-on. So don't be scared of taking challenges and diversifying.
Amazing. And finally, I know we've touched on it briefly in a previous answer. What does protect the title mean to you?
Everything. It's we've got to get it. We just have to get that protected title. So, we need to keep banging those drums and saying, because it's misleading and so many clients, and it's not for the best interest. I went into this and my oath is to protect animals and to leave those animals we love to be potentially being cared for by people who are not, they may be well-meaning, but they're not qualified. And I think we need to protect the animals, protect clients, and protect our future, basically, by getting that title.
Yeah, definitely, because we've all worked so hard to get that title. So I think it definitely deserves that protection, and hopefully we will get it in the next few years.
So. Yeah, great.
Okay then. Well, thank you very much, Joy.
Thanks.
And I will see you soon.
Yeah, thanks a million. Bye.